Paint Dry. This is the channel where I paint things and you watch. Before I do get into the painting, the hardcore painting, and there's a lot of crazy painting to go right here, I've got some things on the back burner that I'm going to probably touch up as soon as I'm done with the pizza dragon, and he's almost done. All the eyes are wrong, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I've got another. I'm gonna have another swing at the bat on this one. This guy's eyes are yellowed. I think he might have some kind of condition, jaundice or something. A draconic jaundice. Is that a jaundice? Draconic jaundice. It can happen. He's got a liver problem, maybe, or some kind of liver disease. Let me take a look here. I'm just posting the links to the same places I always do, which feels like it's not the most effective tactic to me. But you know, this is who we are. This is who we are. This is. Make sure my siblings can see it. I've got like followers. Yeah, they're all people you know. Yeah. Oh, share to a Discord channel or two. Blarg. Reaper. People go live. Let's see if there's another. Oops, gotta turn down the volume. Otherwise, I'm gonna get like an infinite recursive sort of thing that we don't want to do. Where else could I post this? Let's try something. Add flare. Apply. Post. There, I put something on Reddit. That'll get me all the people watching. Hi, and if you're just joining us, welcome to Watching Paint Dry. Now that I've finally finished posting links to this ridiculous pile of nonsense, I'm here to paint miniatures and talk about all kinds of nonsense. If you're into nonsense, you're in the right place. Let me see. So Pizza Guy, this is a Pizza Dragon here, not to be mistaken with Pete's Dragon, which I think they remade. The fact that I say I think they remade it and didn't represent the more recent version of it probably speaks to my relative age. I say relative because it's kind of an open question. It's not really. I mean, it's probably a bad secret that I am old, kind of oldly dropping stuff on Twitch and Reddit. I do not have the video game skills to be on Twitch, so don't tell anyone. Otherwise, I don't want to get like locked out for being ancient. I'm not ancient, really. I'm not joking. Everybody that says they're old is joking usually. Although I don't have a problem with people that admit to being old or remembering something. I have a problem with people that go, "I'm so old, I feel old," because when people I knew were in their 20s, they were saying that shit. I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up about that. I say that, but some of them may have had some rough jobs that were kind of draining. So maybe I'm not being adequately respectful of that experience. They may have been like working like, I'm working in a factory every day, and I feel terrible. You have nothing but my sympathy in that case. So yeah, we're finishing off this guy because I feel kind of done with Pizza Dragon here. Pizza Dragon, yeah, I don't really want to keep working on this thing. I have actually worked on other things while this thing's been sitting around. Believe it or not, there are other miniatures that I put a lot more time in and that already look way better than this dragon. I'm highlighting his top. And then I have to go back and touch up the damn sides of this guy. But why? I don't know. So I'm gonna make the inside of his mouth a bit more green, and I've decided I'm gonna paint some of the spots green, just to like add some crazy color to it, because I think this thing lacks proper color. It looks kind of worn out and a little beaten, and it needs a bit more paint on it. I can't believe the amount of work I'm putting into this little ridiculous lump here. He's just kind of a silly thing, but so yeah. What are we talking about today? Well, I had bumped into while thinking about how to. I was reading a thing about Mount Rainier losing its snow cap, and I thought, well, how can we do something about that practically? What can we do to obviously climate change, duh. But what can we do to maybe have an effect on that, to have a positive on that, maybe? And I just thought, what if we painted it, the tops of some of these mountains that are extremely rocky? What if we painted the rocks all white, or added a very high albedo? You can tell where my mind is. It's completely in the gutter. My mind is like deep in a gutter, and then like below that, in a dungeon below that gutter, in a sewer, but also in a gutter that leads to the sewer, but only it goes deeper than that, because I found a dungeon under it, and it's populated by creatures that are asking me why my mind is so low. No, albedo is obviously what I meant. Oh, no, I got white on that. It's opposite of getting red on that. Getting white on it. No. The trick is, apparently, I was talking to someone and they were pointing out that you could reduce the temperature by 2 or 3 degrees Celsius of a area by doing that, and doing that on a mountaintop could be critical. It could be critical. You do that on a mountaintop, and it could have a scalable effect, a cascading effect, a feedback effect of making the mountain cooler, maybe. And in the way it would work is you would ordinarily in the summer you lose some snow cover in some mountains anyway. You might lose less, because the exposed rock, when it becomes exposed, could be white. You could paint it white, and once it's painted white, you don't lose as much snow cover because you don't have ground around the snow that's as dark and is likely to absorb and radiate heat back on that snow. So the snowpack lasts longer, it's stronger, and it has a chance of rebuilding, maybe. I don't know if any of this actually would work, but I think it's worth trying. And this isn't some like ridiculous libertarian fantasy of dropping a bunch of, oh god, man, back in the day, like in the aughts and teens, especially the aughts, you would run into libertarians a little bit more often. They had not been quite so discredited. I mean, they're still there, but you would not run into them quite so often, and their ideas had not quite been so annihilated. You still run into them, but they're kind of ridiculous now. No one takes them terribly seriously. The only people that do are the people that really want to take them seriously, or the true believers who just cannot let go. They're more hidebound ideologically than the most ardent tanky, in my opinion. By the way, leave the fucking tankies alone. Stop fucking with the tankies. I'm not even kidding. Yes, they're kind of a pain sometimes. I get it. And yes, the people that are left, or the people that are hardcore and hidebound ideologically are pain. But just stop messing with them. Come on. Most of them do not. Some of them are not serious, and if you want to get shift the Overton window, you have got to have people to your left as well. You've got to have people to your left ideologically, so that you can always. It's about moving what is considered the middle, and to do that, you need to actually have positions to your left. If you try to annihilate the positions to your left, you obviously don't want to get what you want. You're going to have to settle for something less than what you want, because you don't get exactly what you want. You do not get precisely what you want, and the only way you do that is to think strategically and go, yeah, we need to have people in the streets marching and getting really riled up, so that we have a reason to. And this also goes for the people that are upset about, like, the March for Medicare for All, or whatever the hell they called it. Don't get upset at that shit. Do not get angry at that. Do not let people try to say. Oh, it's just like there's some bad factors, or a few bad people speaking at it. It's letting the right wingers try to pretend to be lefties by marching in this. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You want to know how to stop right wingers from marching in these to look left? These centrists need to shut the fuck up and absorb the idea of Medicare for all. You're afraid of the right capturing the idea. Capture it first. You can't bitch about the right capturing an idea if you're not going to grab it. If it's there for them to grab, if you leave it there for them to grab, it's your fault for not grabbing it. It's not their fault. They're being opportunistic and sneaky. You can actually do something about that by outnumbering them in this thing. That's something that can be done. Do not cede obvious left-wing ideas to radical right-wingers. I mean, the centrists in the country are too busy trying to be chummy with trying to race to the Republican ideas, and they're getting pissy because the left. There's a possibility of right-wingers capturing left-wing ideas, and it's like, those are your idea. Those are on your side. You don't have to. If you're worried about those things being grabbed, don't let anyone just jump on them. You're talking about policies that are ridiculously popular, and you're going to complain about it. It's like, the right wingers are going to get out. No, they're your ideas. You can just do it. I do not understand people that complain about that shit that way. It's like, yeah, why are you letting them do that in the first place? Whatever, dude. So, yeah, you can do that. You can. Okay, I'll stop ranting about that. But, for climate change, I still think that obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I mean, we do also have to do something to correct the problems, or correct the effects of climate change. And painting mountains white, finding a kind of paint that will work, and painting the mountains white is a way to do that. It also is a way to capture more water out of the atmosphere, and get it into places you need it. Just imagine the fires taking place in California. How much easier it would be to fight them if you had more cold air masses near those mountains, and if you could actually rebuild enough of the glaciers around those mountains, you would have water runoff from those mountains that would be effective in increasing the amount of precipitation in the area, and by having colder mountains in front of as the air masses are moving in, there's a possibility it could have a positive effect on the amount of precipitation you get. The more precipitation you get, the less vulnerable to fire you get. Also, got to stop logging at the foothills of some of those mountains. You got to chill out on that. Otherwise, if you log it all down, you're just going to create or develop it. That's actually the development that probably is just as damaging, if not more damaging. Overdevelopment of some of those areas by the wealthy and well-heeled basically takes out the woods and all the roots, and you end up with like these ridiculous. You end up with tinder boxes for all practical intents. You just turn everything into a tinder box because you basically caused mudslides, and then you get massive mudslides. Nothing holds the water in place. There are no trees there anymore, or fewer. I mean, you basically are, and then you're just creating tinder boxes. It's just terrible. And those just flare up and they just burn. You'll just burn everything out. I mean, granted, there's going to be forest fires there anyway, but you do need to have plans and plants in place to help manage that. And granted, some of those areas are going to be deserts. You're just going to have deserts. You have to figure out how to deal with that. But yeah, since we're looking at like trying to do something productive about climate change and trying to correct problems or prepare for problems, the time for preparation and doing things is now. Actually, the time was 20 years ago, and actually, technically, there were people doing this or trying to do this 10 years ago in Peru. There were some villagers that were trying to do this because they recognized, hey, we need to save the glaciers. The glaciers provide water to our village. We need to make sure they're still there. So we're going to try painting some of these the mountaintops white to try to lower the temperature and increase the incidence of snow and ice on there, because we know we need that. Yeah, very long-term thinking. You have to wonder, villages in Peru had more long-term thinking capacity than all the smart people, all the crazy smart people, all the geniuses, all the Jeff Bezoses and Bill Gates of the world. These villagers in Peru were more concerned and had a better sense of the enormity of their problem